He's clearly didn't have anything turned.
Wait a minute. That was it?
No.
That was it?
He clearly did not turn because he just had a full-on sexual fantasy and then was like, hey, it's you! You're awesome! Done. That guy came in. That guy came in swerving. Ready. He was ready. Look, he could have came in straight, but he did not. He was like, hey!
Yeah, I was confused because in the manga that is not what happens. There's no flashback.
So what happens in the manga?
Yeah, what happens in the manga?
So they meet and he's like, "You're Evelogia, blah blah blah." They go on like a little thing, but
date?
No, like just I guess we'll see. But he's supposed to assassinate him, but he saves him from an assassin, and then Eve actually finds out that he accidentally put this like spell on him to like protect him, but it like got weird, and so to cure him he had to like ingest the caster's fluids. Semen? Body fluids.
Ingest the caster's fluids.
Not ingest, but like the caster's fluids. Life force in fluids.
This sounds word for word like Fate Stay Night.
Yeah.
I have to transfer my mana to you because fighting.
Yeah, basically. That's
Wow, that was a terrible first episode because that went by way too quick.
All right. That was
If that was real, that is too short.
So Vicky, what do you like about this show?
Yeah.
I'll do it. I like that it was made because there's not enough out there for the genre. I wish it was actually longer and more faithful to the manga, but can't all be winners. Sometimes
which part
you get 7 minutes of content.
What part did you want to be longer?
Well, they just jump in with this fantasy that's like it's just something they made like filler, probably because it's still ongoing, and if they made a full episode it would be pretty like short season, but
it's only 9 episodes now. Like what's 9 times 5? 45? That's like it's like an episode and a half.
2 episodes potentially.
Oh.
Yep.
Wow. Yep. Oh man. Okay, so wow. So what did I like? Not a whole lot. It was 5 minutes. It was pretty average anime quality. Like the art was average. There was no real opening or ending music of any importance or anything. It was very much like, all right, we have 5 minutes, 20-second opening, 20-second ending with credits, done. And then they just were banging. Well, he was getting serviced by Evelogia for a good 2 minutes there.
Yeah.
That was pretty, and it was very clear. Like, oh no, this is trying to be a 10, but it's not yet.
Yeah,
it was censored so that you don't see any bits and bops, but you do see everything
just
else.
Bops on that one. Just all the bops. Because his hand was like, I'm moving up an invisible shaft. Like, wow.
Right, it's like just the motion of like there's nothing. There's no censoring, there's no pixels. So again, that's a click on its defense. Like there are no pixels at all.
Yeah,
so,
it's almost like if you're gonna add it, like I've seen what's another romantic Junju Romantica, where it's like you have, I don't remember if it's pixelated, but they don't draw it in such a way that you have nothing in hand. That's kind of a cop out. And it's like, if you're gonna go for it, go all the way.
It's a what now?
A cop out, where it's like
a what now?
Cop out?
A cock out? What?
Stop. Well, you couldn't tell because again, like the hand was just in that motion, and it was just
no, I cannot believe he said you're sucking on me like a woman's hole. I'm like, what?
Okay, the language is amazing. That's what I like about the show. The words, the dialogue is amazing. As with most of these shows, it's just you have to say something. There can't be no silence. Most of these shows, like you just got to say something, and whatever you say, put it in the show. So
and it's a little inaccurate because Gozu, the one who was isekai, was not like. He wasn't getting sucked. He was the bottom, as it were.
Oh my goodness.
And he likes to be the bottom for Evelogia. Yeah.
You know what? I got tricked because I wanted him to be into Evelogia. I wanted because the guy who got isekai was like a bigger, like a gangster kind of yakuza guy, and he dies, but he becomes like another like brawly person, right? I wanted him to turn into the little petite one. and then you understand what I'm trying to say?
Because you thought the big guy on the cover was the demon lord. No.
Exactly. You think the big guy is the demon versus the small dude who's like, this is his isekai word.
Little one.
Okay, so we've got plenty of time to fill out this little whatever we want to call this, but
this is just a little side dish.
This is a little okazu.
This is an okazu.
This is a true okazu. This is a true okazu.
Oh my
god. I was gonna say miso soup, but all right. Anyway. Anyway, so Vicky, give us a little education on the Fudanshi, Fujiyoshi vocabulary and things. Just give us a little culture. Culture.
So in this situation, Gozu, the big one, is the seme, which is bottom, and Evelogia, the little one, is the uke, which is it's usually the other way around in mini BLs, where it's like the big one is the top and the little one is more feminine and is the bottom. But this flips it. It flips the script, y'all. You don't even know how important that is. It's big. Like people were like, "Yes, big bottoms, finally." Love to see it.
Everybody likes big bottoms.
And usually,
yeah, she's right.
Yeah, usually you don't get big bottoms unless you're into bara, which is like big burly men, or in GLBTQ community, bears. But
don't ask me why I know.
Patrick is also a man of culture.
Sorry. No.
You know how I learned about a bear was? Comedians. That's how. There was a comedian who was a gay comedian. He's like, I'm a bear. I'm like, what's a bear?
Yeah, so this is yaoi, BL, which is boys love. It's not Shota, because Evelogia, while young, is not a child.
Yeah.
He is, of age. He's just not fully adult, because obviously he turns into like the full-on Demon King appearance. But, Fujoshis, or Rotten Women, and Fudanshi, Rotten Boys, are the general terms of people that enjoy yaoi. So, yeah, literally.
And what is yaoi for the uninitiated?
Yaoi is specifically male. Yuri is female. And there's some really good Yuri out there. There's one.
You don't say.
Wait. Yuri on Ice.
No.
But that's a yaoi.
Did you know?
Yuri on Ice is a yaoi.
Technically.
Did you know that Yuri on Ice is getting a movie?
Yes, I heard, and I can't wait. But I think I heard that it's about Victor when he was younger.
In his past. Younger Yuri. Oh, maybe. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Excited for it. I just want them to get married. They're so good for each other. Victor's so adorable. Oh.
Yeah. What are some top choice picks in the in that part of the anime fandom?
Ooh.
Yeah. What are your recommendations?
Junju Romantica. Yeah. Classic. All of its spinoffs, like, because it's like there's like the terrorist arc, which is weird. It's not like about terrorism, but it's because this guy pesters this other guy. He's like, you're a little terrorist, but they get together anyway. Gravitation. Dramatica Murder, which we'll watch later. is another good one.
Wait, we will?
Yep. We'll watch Dramatical movie.
Damn it.
I
don't know what it is, but damn it.
Number...
What about Love... Is Loveless? Oh, number 6?
Oh, yeah, we did watch Loveless.
Loveless?
How, where are those two? Are those similar
number 6
genres? Or
is a BL? Slightly, because it's not like the focus. It's like, it's just the background. Kind of like if you watch any...
I have...
Yeah, kind of like...
I have watched number 6.
It's so good. And it's just very background. It's not like the focus of it.
It's like... well, I can't give an anime comparison, but just imagine any time you might watch a male-female paired romantic show where the romance is always there, but it's not the plot. Mm-hmm. That's number 6. It's just two dudes, and you're like, yeah, those two are going to kiss each other. Yep.
And that...
I don't actually know if they do, but it's very strong.
They danced, and I think they did kiss when they, like, well, spoilers for number 6. But it's not, like, the focus. And it's sad, because it's like, oh, they just make a good little couple, help each other out. Loveless is what we would call queer baiting type, where it's like, because you don't want Yitsuka and Sobi,
right.
But
there's that. Yeah, you're right.
It gives fuel to the fire, so to speak, for fan fiction and doujinshi. So there's that. However, it becomes.
I mean that already is a
Utena
good list,
is Yuri.
I was gonna say Utena. I was like, for me, I was gonna mention Utena, but I was like, is that really?
Yep.
A Yuri?
It's similar to number 6, where it's just very background and it's just a build up. It's not like explicit.
Oh, I got one for you. Avatar with Korra.
Yep.
Ooh, really?
I wouldn't even call it a Yuri, because while they do get together in the end, it's so not even the point of any of it that it's just like, you wouldn't call it a romance really if any other characters get together. It was just like it's a
romance in the same way Naruto is a romance.
Yep.
Like, people are going to pair up, but that's not really what you're there for.
So,
but you if you're a smart person and you bet on Naruto Hinata, you'll be happy at the end.
Yeah, similar with like Utena, where it's not the genre, but it's there in the content.
It's the there's an underlining tone in the background, like, oh yeah, there's these two characters, and you just see it there, but it's not the main point of the show. But the ones that you previously mentioned, those are the main point of the show.
Romantica,
geared towards
for
that.
Sure. Like, that is romance to the end. Gravitation, also romance, but also about the story. I would love to see Yellow, this cool manga, become an anime.
Did you ever see Carolyn Tuesday? I hate the way
Tuesday. It's the Netflix one with the musician.
I haven't, but it gives off strong Yuri flavors. If it's not just straight up like Yuri content.
Did you say Banana Fish?
I didn't, and I have heard of it, and I've heard that it will make you cry 10 times out of 10, and that it's messed up. Oh, Given, great yaoi. It's not even like the romance. So with yaoi, the focus is almost on the sexual part of the relationship, and with BL, it's more about, for my own separation, is like the romance development of the relationship.
So what did we just watch?
That was just pure yaoi. That was just.
Thank you.
That was.
That's okay. That's no. You brought. I'm sorry. I didn't. You brought up a weird point. Like, yaoi is more, let's just say, more intense, and Yuri is more delicate.
Yeah.
Is that the right terms?
No, Yuri is
generally
females, girls and girls.
Yeah, right, right. But like for the anime, like that's kind of what you are like. That's the kind of the underlying tone when you watch a yaoi or versus watching a Yuri. Like,
I'd say, because there could be some intense Yuris. I don't particularly watch too much Yuri.
I think the balance is, who's the Yuri for? If the Yuri is for sexual gratification, then it's probably going to be more intense, and it's probably going to be aimed towards men, but it could be aimed towards women. I'm guessing. If it's supposed to be more romantic and not sexual, then it's probably just going to end up being more. Wait, is there like a girls' love version? Is that a thing?
I've never heard of GL. Like, never heard it as a term. BL is like the term you even hear in Japanese, like BL. Interesting enough, a lot of BL and Yuri is written for women audiences. Go figure.
Because there's been a good amount of female romantic, like lesbian anime, basically, or at least that's the implication in the last few seasons. And then I know I sent you that YouTube channel or that YouTube about Chinese manhwa or donghua and their stuff, because Link Click has that kind of thing going for it. I've mentioned many times I've read like 2 or 3 volumes of Legal Drug. When I saw Link Click, I'm like, oh, it's Legal Drug. Hi. I'm not going to watch you. I don't care. And it's probably a perfectly good anime. But
Legal Drug is a great example of what could be considered a BL, even though it's not explicit. And it's almost like it wants you. It has flavors and overtones, just like Loveless, where it's like overtones of a relationship, just like Black Butler. Overtones, subtle but not explicit because crimes.
Also, Shota.
Yeah.
I've watched Black Butler. There is a little boy the whole
Generally,
time.
if there's Shota, it's gonna be BL, which is more like the relationship building.
Okay, so Shonen I versus BL.
Shonen I is boys love.
Differences being...
That's what it translates to. Shonen is boy, I is love. It's boy is love.
Right. But is there a difference, or is it the same thing? We just call it BL versus saying in Japanese.
Same thing.
Okay, that's what I was trying to ask. Okay, cool.
Usually, you can if you look up Shonen I, you find Black Butler, Loveless, maybe number 6 because it's so it's understated.
Probably,
it's very understated.
Probably,
but yaoi, you would find Evelogia, you would find Gender Romantica. It's no boys about it. It's full on. I mean, it's not. When I say boys, it's more like a childish, like light and.
Like I think I was trying to say it's more of that slower, delicate, romantic, relationship wise versus Evelogia, which is just like pure on, like it's just not necessarily. I mean, I'm sure there might be relationships between the characters, but it's just like here's the plot, and that's that. But for Loveless and Gravitation, all those other shows, they seem more like focused on the relationship wise, and there's like a slower, delicate pace to it. And for Yuri, it's like most of them are. I don't know what I'm sure there are like intense Yuri shows, but from what I've understand, they're more at a slower pace because of the relationships focus versus a boy love show, which is I think can be tended to be have more intense types of shows like Evelogia, but. I mean, I wouldn't know.
And I don't watch too much Yuri, but Yuri seems to also still be on that boy love level of relationship building than just full on sex fest.
Welcome to Sex Fest. Yeah. So what I was going to ask was on our scale, on our homegrown ecchi scale, where do you feel like Yuri, yaoi, and boy shonen?
It all depends on the
like what's the top end of each and what's the bottom usually? What would you have?
Do you mean like where I would place them as a genre, or like where? Because even like within the genres, it depends on the show. Like Loveless is probably a 4. Black Butler, I'd say Black Butler's also like a 4 because it's never explicit, and those are like BLs.
This show's clearly a 9.
At least a 9.
It is a 9.
people
is
could
a
argue
9
an 8.
asking for a 10.
Yeah, people can argue an 8, 9, but at least not. I mean, asking for
I'm
a 10.
not.
But
Look, until we saw him not jerking off this guy, I was about to say, all right, it's still an 8. Technically, I can't see. Oh, okay, now they're just hiding it. That's barely even not a 10.
I'd say it's a 10 because there's no plot to have supported, and it's only 6 minutes long. The focus of it is
wait a minute.
what we saw.
We've argued back and forth, and I still do not accept that plot is a reason not to be a 10. But
I also agree. I also agree with Cori on this. Plot is not. Plot does not make not a 10. It does not exclude it from that category.
Now, the fact that it's 6 minutes long and they just immediately get to doing it before he's told he's supposed to kill him. Yeah, that 6 minute runtime suggests strongly that it is not a.
Yeah, it's just hit it and quit it.
This is not. Yeah. Oh, so much so. Yeah. 2 minutes in, just bam.
Exactly.
You're dead. All right.
Exactly.
Hey,
it's not even it's not even 6 minutes. It's like 4 minutes. The intro and the outro, like that. Right. That runtime itself is like literally took up a minute. Yeah. So you're saying we need to watch more episodes to understand the show.
Look, if there was another episode, I would have been like, we might as well watch one more because wow.
I would have
not because I want to, but because for content and context, that was. Yeah,
there was no context. There was barely any content. I was a bit disappointed that it did not get like a full Redo of Healer type run into this manga. But like again, there's the plot. I think plot can change a ranking.
Right. Yeah. Right. No, I understand that. The plot, because like I said, with other shows, the plot can definitely serve its purpose, and that's what you really watch it for. Just like with E. Dalton, like even though it has a bit of it, it is clearly just for add on to for the spice, but it's not. It's not all E. Dalton is offering. This show is offering only this.
So the character that we didn't name before her name is Miku.
Okay, hold on. So I'm sorry. This one doesn't. I'm sorry, this one doesn't have subs. We don't know what's going on, but not like we need to know what's going on.
I guess, because
we're good.
It's very, it is what it is. Like, it's almost like a doujinshi that just became animated. Reading it, it's like a doujinshi, but nope, an actual mangaka made it on purpose.
Hey, are you trying to say people who make doujinshi are not actual mangaka? Because they are. They create their own.
They are, but they're not published.
They're just independent. Yeah. They're not corporate. Yeah. They haven't sold out yet. Yeah. Their porn is not corporate yet. Corporate
it's
porn.
Not mass produced.
Hey.
We watched mass produced corporate porn.
Hey, not everyone can be Redo Healer, you guys. Or interspecies reviewers. Not everyone can make it. No one can make it. Not everyone gets to make it.
High School DxD.
Even
High School is
Yeah, even Mushoku Tensei, I'll give that a little. I'll throw that in there. It goes places.
Like I know it's not going to get a gravitation run because it's like that's romance and conflict, and also like people come together. But dang, they could have did it a little bit more, like a 10-minute run, like at least get through the first part of the chapter. This was literally like the first 5 pages of the damn manga. Of chapter 1.
1 page a minute.
That is impressive. Is that how long people spend on the
yeah, right? Jeez. That was.
Well, this is our little side dish. Kazu.
Wow.
Wow.
Vicky, next time you pick an episode, please pick one that's longer than 7 minutes.
This is just my revenge. This is less explicit than what you guys
Wait, no. What did you say? What did you say? You were going to say something. You said this is your revenge?
Yeah.
You didn't say it, but I heard you. This is mine. No, you were going to say it.
Because it wasn't that explicit.
But here's the thing. You could have made us watch this, and it could have not been an episode, but you wanted it to be an episode of the podcast.
Because I legit thought it was going to be a full 30-minute thing, not a 7-minute. Hey,
to her defense, she doesn't know, just like you in episode 2, you guys. You didn't know. Who would have known?
What didn't you guys like? Not that I could guess.
I mean,
it was 4 minutes. I couldn't.
In general,
yeah.
I'm generally not a big fan of watching dudes do it. So, that's generally how that works.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's not something I'm into.
You're not a fudachi.
No. Okay. And in all honesty, like it was not that interesting because it wasn't explained. Like if they would have built up an entire 20 minutes of establishing this guy's life, him getting killed, right? Because the plot synopsis told me better than the show. That is a bad idea.
True.
That's like Dark Souls, but worse, because Dark Souls doesn't teach you jack shit about its story, but it's a game, so you can play it and you can read items. This was like, all right, you want to know who this character is? Go to Mal and find out. Because it's like this guy who goes by Gonzu or whatever gets killed, and then he's in a video game.
It's literally
here's what happens in the
pages.
show. You see him. You see him talking to some gangster. He shoots him, and then you see a video game console that looked shitty, and it was like it wasn't even like a real game. It was just like like a swing, and that was it. And then he's reincarnated into basically his body, but with new clothes, and he looks maybe like a little less dirty and a little less gruff, and then he's like, hey, you listening? And then he's like, huh? You're supposed to kill our son. And he's like, huh? Not like, what are you talking about? That's crazy. He's like, huh? Are you otaku? What? And then son opens the door, and then black lightning comes out, and then they're doing it. Mm-hmm. Well, okay. He's getting jerked off.
He imagines, he fantasizes about,
doesn't matter. Then after he talks about how he wants to keep doing that forever and just being the bottom forever and being served in the best way by the Demon King, then he comes out of it. He comes out of it.
I keep saying that. Keep saying that.
What? And then he's like, oh my god, you're great. I love you. You're the best. You're a Demon King, but like a child. Yay. And then it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They explained nothing.
Yeah, it's literally no shot of this was not in the original material. Like every frame. Like they didn't give anything extra. They didn't go their own way and like expand upon
But
anything.
you said that they added the sex part in the middle of it.
Yeah, that because even that was later on in the chapter. So it's like, I almost thought it was like a fast forward. And like, that's why I thought parts would cut, because that sort of happens later on in the chapter. But from what I can guess right now, it's just a fantasy. But it's like, wow, that's a weird way of showing that kind of stuff.
Like, you know what? Like, yeah, it's a little weird because in any media, if somebody immediately sees someone and then just has a full-on sex fantasy immediately, they're like, what is wrong with you, guy? you went there immediately. Like,
No, this show is like, again, with 5 minutes, not even five, like sub 5 minutes, you can't really seem to tell a story that's elaborate, I guess. It's just not gonna work. Even maybe 10 minutes, maybe you could get more. But like the plot and the story, again, I don't want to bring up the other show that we saw that was 7 minutes or 8 minutes long. Mm-hmm. Those extra minutes gave a plot where the girl was trying to get revenge, and you established like their best friends or whatever. But for this was just like, I don't understand. He got isekai'd, right, into his own body, and he fantasized, and that's pretty much it. The story beats are just like, what am I trying to piece together, you know? Mm-hmm. It is, in that sense, it's like, I don't know. It was very generic. Though I think the only big part that I think Vicky is making is that it's the opposite, where the burly guy gets dominated by the little one, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the only unique part of it, because I came into the show thinking the opposite. Not that I watch these shows, but I'm saying usually, I came to think of the opposite.
That's people's usual assumptions.
You know? But other than that, it's pretty generic in that, and not even with the context or with the content as well. It's just very generic in that sense. Isekai, bam, and then whatever.
It's disappointing. The manga's so much better. Will I still watch this? Yes, because we have so little of it in the world. We gotta get our
45 minutes total.
Yeah.
I want an update in 9 episodes, please.
Oh my
I just want to know, like, is it still stupid?
It probably just catches up to where they're at now, and then if it gets another season, it would just be the same. Just
in like 5 years.
Yeah.
We have enough content.
probably.
God, this is worse than Naruto filler.
Yeah.
Then. Jesus.
I'd rather they just didn't make it until like bigger plot points had happened, but
Right.
Bigger plot points.
like they could have made it
that was code word.
a 6-episode thing and get right to where it is now. But
you know what? They can make 69 episodes. I don't care.
Yeah,
that's a lot of plot.
I think I'm gonna just rewatch some Genji Romantica or finish Gravitation because this was not.
Wasn't getting you.
It doesn't scratch the itch. What it does is, if you've got like 5 minutes and you want to, crank one out.
No, not even. This is hey. As a general, it's not even that worth it. I would disagree. This should be better. I'm sure
you
there's
need
other selections.
Wait, you need a supercut for the 5 minutes.
Oh my god,
you get nothing
Jesus.
really. So
these supercuts are gonna be disappointing.
It's like we got 2 minutes. All right, it's true. Bam. God, yeah, it's just so it's too short to be substantial.
Well, that was our little side dish. Just
Otaku Kazu. Okazu.
Welcome to the first episode of Taku Katsu.
Oh, that would be wild. Anyway, that
Jesus
was what it was. But
Yeah.
It was porn.
Yeah, that's why I'm like it's just a 10 because there's not enough substance. There's not even enough porn, really. It was just
Yeah. It's like to be kind of fun, for like comical and critical about it. It's like there wasn't even enough for me. Like there's just not enough there in general. So
it was like 3 strands of spaghetti with not enough sauce and half a meatball. Wait,
There was no sauce.
yeah, no. 3
literally
3 strands of spaghetti.
Is that
cold?
I'm gonna keep saying it. You gotta get
No
it.
sauce.
No sauce.
no sauce?
Maybe half a meatball.
I'm glad there was no sauce. I didn't need sauce. I already saw the nun. That was enough for me.
No
I'm
sausage
good.
as well.
True. No sausage.
No sauce, no sausage.
If you look at the Japanese or the English transliteration of the title, it definitely looks like the sausage is in the title, but they're missing a U. So, man, Vicky, please.
Hey, it's not bad.
If I'm gonna watch,
It's not
if I'm gonna watch more yaoi, 20 minutes or more, please.
Are you saying Cori wants the plot?
I'm saying I would prefer there to be 20 minutes.
No,
Of something
same.
that's gonna torture
I
me.
wouldn't have suggested this if I knew it was just going to be a little short clip because I thought, and they're like, it gets an anime adaptation, full anime adaptation, not it
Right.
gets animated. Totally different.
This is why I'm slowly learning how to be more selective in my shows because I keep watching stuff like, what the heck is that? Oh man.
Yeah.
So easy to get disappointed when you look at these lists of things and be like, this is quirky. What's this? Oh, man. Otaku Katsu, the show where we watch stuff on accident too many times.
Yep. Especially you.
You know what?
Well,
this is
but
true.
next episode we can dive right into Shuumatsu no harem.
Oh my goodness, my pick.
Yeah.
Shuumatsu no harem. Cori, this is for you, Cori. This is 20 minutes. And this is actual plot.
So much plot.
Man, that
So
show's gonna suck ass.
Big plot.
It's gonna suck.
It's gonna
so
suck
bad.
ass? Is it really gonna suck ass? What else is gonna suck?
It's gonna suck. It's gonna fuck.
It's gonna have the sauce. There's gonna be some sausages.
Sausage.
The sauce is there. Oh my goodness.
I can say with authority that there's no way that this next show is going to be any good. It's going to be so base. It's going to have no like real anything. It's just going to be like, hey, you're a dude we're going to kidnap you so you can repopulate the world, and people are going to do, like, horrible things to you to make that happen. And that's going to be, like, episode 2. But in the first episode, it's going to be like, oh, man, I wish I had my girlfriend back, but now I'm in the future, and now everybody wants me. I'm confused.
It's going to be like a redo healer of, like, episode 1 might be tame. Episode 2 is where it might get up, probably. But
if not worse. Yeah. Have we confirmed that this is not a 7-minute show as well?
Oh my god, I haven't confirmed
we
that
haven't
yet,
actually looked.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll keep looking again, but if by next recording there's no longer cut, Shuumatsu no harem, because this just leaves you wanting more, and it's like, what the hell?
Oh, Platinum End! I forgot about Platinum End. That's another show I think might be good, because that's the one by the One Piece people. Or, sorry, Death Note.
What's the one by the redo of Healer?
That's the assassin one where he becomes a bureaucrat. And I'm like, yeah, I actually want to see that. That sounds like a cool idea, but then it's probably going to be redo of Healer again.
How do they sex it up?
I don't even know. Like, that's the problem. I didn't think it was going to be any sex in redo of Healer. But again, plots and summaries are not the same.
Yeah, no, that one actually looks interesting. Wait,
was Shuumatsu no harem last season? Because I can't find it.
It should be
this season.
It should be this season, right? Mm-hmm. Well, episode 1 is out. I mean, it's a 20-minute show, so
it is a 20-minute show.
Yeah, it's a 20-minute show for sure.
All right, then we'll watch that.
Wow. So resigned.
I don't. As much as I used to think harems were fun, I don't really. They're usually bad. They're just bad. They're low effort stories and wish fulfillment.
So low effort.
Because again, and then we'll talk about this more when I can gush about Ranma, but Ranma's actually good. And when I think off the top of my head of all the harems I've actually watched, I would only recommend Ranma. Right? I would never recommend Love Hina. I've seen it. I liked it when I was a kid, but I'm not going to watch that shit again. It's not that good. It's very meh. Tenchi Muyo, I've rewatched Tenchi Muyo. It's not as good as I remember.
Oh.
It's kind of boring. And Tenchi is a idiot.
Yep.
Like, he's not the worst protagonist. The dude from Love Hina is worse. I don't remember his name.
The one true harem we watch... The one true harem we watch is Clannad, and that's pretty much it. Like, that's the only one you need to watch. Everything else, can give it a pass.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking, like, if we could find different kinds than what I've seen, right? Mm-hmm. That's why I was like, Fushigi Yugi, maybe. You've got whatever one with all the dudes. And then, but I don't know. So, in 2 weeks from this episode, or a week after Patrick's, we'll do Ranma, and then...
We'll go back to normal.
Vicky. No, Vicky's got hers, and then you have to do another harem, Patrick.
Yeah. I actually wanted to do or in high school to give it a different variety because like.
Okay, I take it back. There are 2 good harems. Or in high school. Yeah, now Vicky argues that that's not a harem.
Yeah, there's just too few. Like it's. Could technically be a harem if you go by the main character surrounded by opposite gender everyone, and it's many of them.
By that well, never mind. But okay, but if it's opposite gender then yours doesn't work. But point being, I wanted to define a harem for our sake and then go forward with that because it's always fun to make stuff operational because science.
It's just the love interest. Many love interests.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because Orion doesn't have many love interests. It has 2.
I would say that
potential. Let's say potential love interests, because even though they don't necessarily like Haruhi, with the idea with Love Hina, not everyone really is really into the main character, but You don't ship the little islander girl with. I mean, you can, but you don't. That's not the normal thing. You pick the other girls that are there.
okay, here's sort of a weird thought. Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Is that a harem?
I haven't watched it enough to know.
No. Damn it. No. That's tough because there's only 3 girls in that show.
That's all you need, though.
But like,
you need 3. I think 3 is the bare minimum to justify calling. If it's just 2, it's a love triangle. If it's 3, it's a harem.
There you go. 3.
Yeah.
Is a key.
You're right. 2 is love triangle.
The thing about Ouran High School is that Haruhi has obviously blonde-haired dude, but then you've got Mori Senpai, you've got Glasses Guy, and you got the twins.
Well, Mori and
it's
Kyoya were not interested romantically in.
And that's the thing, like, it's harder to say if they were or were not, but then you also have, like, the entire female school club member, whatever.
Like,
They had a thing, but it wasn't that, but it I don't know. So
she did have
I'm okay with not calling it a harem, but
I would say it would count if 3 is the key because both of the twins were romantically interested in. Just one of them backed off because he knew his brother was interested.
Then we got 3. We got a minimum of 3.
3. Yeah, I like that. 2 is just a
triangle.
2 is just love triangle. 3 is harem. Anything more is just for fun.
Yep.
Negima.
Oh God!
And I've not seen Negima, but when you got 100 girls and that's the anime, and the main character is the boy, that's a harem.
Oh, dang!
Because it's not AKB 49 or anything.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, so I'll continue to work on that. Just trying to find a way to define harem, and then we can come up with some kind of ranking system. Did any of you ever like save, or did I ever send you a direct like image of the hentai scale? Because the ecchi scale is no longer easily accessible.
Well,
yeah, I think it deleted itself at some point.
It should be somewhere.
I can put it back together. I just don't think there's a way to easily just like go to a page where it exists static. So, but anyway, this has been a shorter episode. Vicky, do you want to set us off?
Yeah. If you're gonna have side dish, get a heaping helping of it, because one bite is not enough. This was an amuse-bouche, and some of us are hungry. Like, feed us. But this has been a Taku Katsu, our Kazu side episode. I've been joined by Patrick.
Yes, if this is for your Okazu purposes, 7 minutes or 5 minutes is not enough.
And Cori.
I like girls.
And I have been Vicky, your Fujoshi Futanshi representative.
Expert. Yeah.
And this has been Taku Katsu. Until next time, matane.
Bye.
Bye.